Hey, rock stars! Welcome back the week after convention. I hope you guys all feel as high on life as I do. I absolutely loved this convention, the Together convention. Honestly, going into convention, I was like, man, I don't know what they're going to do to top last year because last year was phenomenal. But I got to tell you that this year was probably my favorite convention yet. And I think the reason why it was is because I feel like we've had this transition in doTERRA from going to convention and hearing about what we're going to do. And then this year we went to convention, it was like, and here's everything we've done, plus everything we're going to do. It was so fun to see so much research and data freely being given to us to hand out to people. You know, that's something in previous conventions I've been like, wait, they said that, but like, where can I find more information on that? And to have doctors on stage sending us their presentations and their slides and their research and their protocols. I mean, I was just like, hallelujah, like this is phenomenal. So I absolutely loved convention. Um, even down to our new motto, right? Pursue. If I can even say it right? Like somebody help me out. Pursue what's pure. There we go. Right? Pursue what's pure, guys. That video, the Pursue What's Pure video, which is already on doTERRA's YouTube channel, is so good. And a couple tips I'll tell you to do with that video, as it encompasses everyone, whether you're sharing with a builder or someone who just wants more information. I would tell you to add a little line, even the doTERRA Pursue What's Pure. Watch this video in your email footer and just link that hot link so you're constantly sharing that video because it's phenomenal. So if I don't know, I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw, I posted it earlier, but doTERRA's put all of the new products on one page so we can get to them really quickly. The videos are all there. I'll post it again with the recording of this call. And then I made a PowerPoint presentation today. It does not encompass all of the convention, but it's about 120 slides or so. So if you want to use that to share or send, I already uploaded that to Rockstars about 10 minutes ago. So feel free to use that as you wish. And let's jump into some product. Tonight, my goal is one, hear your feedback about convention. Two, I would love to hear your biggest takeaway. And when you share, let us know what your biggest call to action was, because I think we all walked away with something different, right? Like of what our focus is going to be on your specific business. And then let's share a little bit about the new products. So I love the 13 new products, but I got to tell you, my absolute favorite one is the lemon eucalyptus, which sounds silly because we've always had eucalyptus, right? But I'm just in love with it. It smells so clean. It is going to replace my lemon and purify hack of making your house smell clean before people come over. Now it's lemon eucalyptus. It's so refreshing. I already have one in the shower. It's fantastic. So that's one of my favorites. I'm really excited to have that on hand. And I'm going to open it up, guys, and let's share and talk a little convention. And let's plan a little bit for next year. I know a lot of us have already got our tickets. It sounds like the majority of rock stars are going to track B, and it also sounds like everyone's going to have a hangout of some sorts at Pony Express if possible. So we're trying to pull together more team stuff going into next year. So who would like to share first? Feel free to unmute yourself. And if you don't, I'll call on you.
Don't let Kenzie call on you. My favorite is the adaptive, the pills. I've taken them for the last 2 nights, and I sleep straight through to my alarm in the mornings now.
Wow.
Yeah. I might get up once to go to the bathroom, but it is really helping my sleep patterns.
Wow.
So I love that one.
What was your biggest takeaway for your business?
Oh, my takeaway was not for my business. My takeaway was how much I can help stroke survivors, because so many came to me, so many advocates that have stroke survivors in their families. I have had 5 calls in the last 2 days from people that just found me on Facebook. So my biggest takeaway was that I am on the right track. I need to keep going with this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And-
I love that.
And my business will follow.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that goes hand in hand, does it not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is a really good feeling.
So maybe I should rephrase that question. Your business, meaning your mission, your purpose, your takeaway. What are you doing with this information that we just received? So awesome, Iris. Thank you for sharing.
You betcha.
Who else has a favorite product they want to share?
Trevor.
Yeah, I unmuted you.
All right. I'll go next, I guess. Put it on the hot seat. Was it Black Spruce?
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was great. I was excited about that one. Just they announced the emotional benefits of it. Really hit home for me and some of the stuff we've been going through lately. And if you didn't read that aspect of it, check it out. It's kind of an unusual one. I haven't heard one that covered so many different aspects of emotion. So I was excited about that, to try that one. And it was great seeing everybody there.
Mhm.
Loved hanging out with all of you. Except for Kinsey, I never did catch up with you.
She was hiding.
I know. And Miss Karina, but
Yeah.
loved hanging out with your son, Zeb. He was awesome.
Love seeing everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. Black Spruce. I am excited about that one as well. And I love the video. I love that they already have all the stuff available to us to start sharing. I'm really excited about that. Who else, guys? You can share your takeaway. You can share your favorite new product. You can share what you got out of convention. You can share whether or not you bought your ticket. If anyone's already experienced the empowered training, going on the sales training, I'd love to hear somebody share about that.
Well, I got to tell you, that Empowered Success is one of the best $20 you'll ever spend.
Yeah,
That-
you're talking
that
about the
was-
Saturday training?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was some serious stuff
Yeah.
from some presidentials that I, never heard speak before. And they had a keynote speaker, and she was funny. She was just darling.
Mm-hmm.
She really was. Oops, there's my, there it is, my alarm. But I think at the end of convention, when Emily spoke,
Mm-hmm.
and when she talked about, where'd it go? That, okay, your message will never be right for everyone, and you don't need to please everyone, and you are enough. You don't have to be perfect. Okay. Stand in your own power and be who you are,
Yeah.
which I thought was just huge. Be who you are. I
Yeah.
just love that.
I loved that too. I love when Emily does the closing. She's always she just nails it, right? Like if you weren't crying before, you're crying now, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Go real quick on that training. I just want to let people know that the Empowered Success training that happened on Saturday, if you left early or if you didn't go to convention this year, you can still get in on that. It's available until the 31st of October. But if you want to watch convention again or any highlights or anything like that, you can actually purchase the convention live stream and the Empowered Success Day for $40 if you use the code together19 for the coupon. So you'll save a little bit of money there, but it was excellent. And I think there was some hesitation about it, right? Because it's like, well, what's the difference between just going to the website and reading about the Empowered Success? It wasn't even about the share, live, build guides. It was literally stories of leaders sharing how they're sharing, and kind of more like an action. Like at convention, we don't always see wellness advocates tell us how to do the business. That's what Saturday was. And I think we'll see that again probably next year. But if you didn't grab it, do it. And then they launched at that training, they launched the sales guide training, which is available now. You can, I'll post the link for it again, but it's a $97 training. And when you're done completing the training, they give you 100 PV credit to your account. And basically it teaches you how to build the doTERRA business. So I've already been on the phone with several leaders since this launched because it's so good. And so a lot of us were like, oh, let's strip the videos, let's post them in everyone's groups. But we've backpedaled now because the purpose of this training is so when you have someone come to you and say, I'm ready, I want to build doTERRA, what do I do? This is how you do it. You put them in this training course and then you hold their hand. So no longer do you need to be the go-to. They'll learn all of this stuff and giving them all of, you know what I'm saying? We now have a system within our company, which is amazing, that they can pay $97 for and go through the entire course. So if somebody wants to launch a business of unlimited potential of income, it's going to cost them 100 PV a month, right, to do the LRP so they can get a check, and then a $97 training. I mean, you just won't find that anywhere else. And it will literally propel them so far forward if they go through the training. And I'd encourage everyone on this call to go through the training because it is so well done and so good. And we need to make sure we're doing that. We need to have the most people that get their certificate of completion be a rock star. We want to be the team that's educating properly, the right way. We know our stuff, the most streamlined way possible. So I'll post a link again, but really make sure you check that out. Thanks for sharing, Tracy. Did you tell us your favorite product? I don't think you did. Did you have a favorite new product?
Oh, I am loving the new Europalm stuff. I opened the serum right up, and I've been using the Europalm capsules every day as well. In fact, I bought a second kit so that I could make sure I had it.
Yeah, before, right? Because that Europalm's not going to be available till January.
I know December as a gift item, but that ain't going to get you far.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. And over at the Europalm booth, somebody told me they were saying when you put on that Europalm serum, use a little bit of the body lotion, use the unscented to spread it farther.
Okay.
And I thought, well, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't meant to be like a lotion, but that's kind of how you apply it,
Right. That's a good idea. I didn't know that. Oh, and I got to meet Teresa Harding. Justin Harrison was staying at our hotel, so we saw him at breakfast one morning. Spoke to Rob Butters as well. After convention, he was kind of like, the backstage guy.
Yeah.
So it was very nice to kind of see some people that you wouldn't normally have access to.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the perks of being a diamond or above. You get access to these people.
Sure. Yeah, but how cool is that people so big, I mean, even like Justin, do you know what I mean? Like just to see how involved he is, even at his rank and what he's doing, even down to our I mean, the owners, right? Like, I'm just amazed at how connected they stay and in the moment, and they're always there and they're always present. Like, this is their mission. I mean, 5 years ago, they could have easily hired a replacement and just, called it good and just let doTERRA take off. But no, it's like they continue to be the forefront of this company, and it's so cool.
I agree. Yeah. I had, I think I was talking to you all last week about have, do, be, and be, do, have. So I had a team member there with me, and I challenged her to find, I said she only had to talk to one, but to find a diamond or above and ask them about the be, the be part of it instead of the doing. Everybody knows about the doing, and yes, Chrissy, the Europalm will be available in the post-convention kit. I see that in the chat. It's just that the Manuka won't be. So she asked Teresa Harding.
Oh.
And you know what Teresa Harding said?
What?
She said about taking responsibility. Take responsibility for your business, for your life, for all of that.
Cool.
Yeah. You're just kind of like, well, hello there.
Yeah. Wow. I love that.
Yeah. Be responsible.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I love that.
There you go.
Who wants to go next? Your takeaway, what you loved, your favorite new product, who you ran into, what you loved, if you've already bought your ticket for next year, and what's driving you forward after convention? What fueled you up to do what?
All right, Kenzie, I can go next.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure where to begin. I think favorite product, I would probably say the new turmeric duo cap. I really liked hearing, I think it was Dr. DeBell talking about that, how that's a product that's been under development for literally 3 years is how long it took to get that figured out. And I guess I didn't realize that with the oil that we have right now, that it's got the turmerones in it, but it does not have the curcuminoids in it, I think is what they said. It was one or the other, and I think that's how that works. So for them to figure out a way to combine those so your body gets both of those and your body can actually absorb those botanicals, get the curcumin into your body and all the benefits that come with that, to me, that was pretty unbelievable. And that leads to kind of my biggest takeaway was along the lines of what you said about how convention has always been, here's what we're going to do, here's where we're going. This really did feel like the year where we kind of came out and said, we've been doing this for 11 years now, and we've gotten to a place that we can do things that literally nobody else is able to do because we've laid a decade worth of foundation of never taking shortcuts and never chasing fads. I think it was Emily that talked about, we're not going to go after magnetic eyelash extensions, which was like just waving the flag of like, this is who we are and what we're here to do. Like, you think about the different things that we launched this year, there's nothing like sexy or trendy about turmeric, and there's nothing like wow factor. Like, even with adaptive, we're taking on mental health. That's not, like everybody deals with it, but nobody talks about it. It's not like a mainstream, like, hey, rah, rah kind of thing. But I think that's where we're doing our work, is on foundational, whole body health. We're empowering people. And literally no one can do what we're doing because they haven't done the work. And nobody's going to follow us because they don't want to do the work. So that for me was really a pretty empowering idea of, even like the story, I forget the wellness advocate, but it was the oncologist, I think Dr. Doug Flora, maybe, I forget his name exactly, but even looking at his experience where one wellness advocate reached out and, got over her fear and just took action and did it And then, threw her phone across the room. She was so scared after she sent that text. But now you look at what's going on. I mean, we've got our leadership involved in $131 million cancer center going up, that we're in a partnership with oncologists to help cancer patients deal with the side effects of chemo and to help their bodies heal. And even now, like, it was cool to hear him talk about like, as a allopathic oncologist, just talking about like, they know that what they're doing is like swinging a blunt instrument at cancer, and they're killing a lot of good cells along with some bad cells. And I loved his humility. Like, he was ready to have help. If there was something that doTERRA could do, he's open to hear it. So every single year I feel like I don't know that I could believe in this company, or I don't know that I could believe in our leadership anymore. And then like it just goes up another level. Even this is our third one. Excuse me. And I remember coming to the first one a few years ago with Michael and Courtney talking about, Rob Young will be there, and you'll hear, Dr. Hill. And I'm like, who are these people? And honestly, why would I care? And then now it's like, I can't wait to hear from these people, because they continue to expand the borders of what we're doing, the impact of what we're doing. And I felt like even what Dr. Hill had to say in one of his talks, to me, it felt like almost like a call to arms of, it was something like 75% of the illnesses that we have in this country are preventable. It's like $17 trillion a year, some crazy, maybe it was like 18% of the economy. I think that's what it was. 18% of the national GDP goes to healthcare every year. And somewhere between 50 and 75% of that could be prevented. And so I just feel like we have such big work to do, that any one of us can make a huge difference. You think about the ripple effect of even one phone call, one enrollment, getting one person on LLB, like what that can mean for them in their lives. So for me, I came away really excited to think about, where are there places I'm letting fear hold me back? Where are there places that I can be more supportive of Amanda and the work that she's doing and all the people that she's getting in front of? Because like it is in a lot of cases, like it's life and death work. And we bring hope to people that maybe they've run out of choices. They've tried every prescription, they've tried every treatment, and they need someone that can listen and that can empower them. So I just came back really pretty charged up from all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up the chicken list thing, right? I hope everyone went home and thought of, well, who's on your chicken list and who can I reach out to that, maybe I would like to, but they just seem so big. Like, could you imagine like throwing that cheek text or oncologist? Like, that's hardcore, right? Like, that's dedication. That's like, ugh. I love that. What was your favorite new product?
I think it was the turmeric.
Yeah.
The turmeric duo. I mean, I really like the lemon eucalyptus quite a bit, and the black fry. I think those are going to be really good go-tos. I mean, I use lemongrass pretty much every day, and I think lemon eucalyptus will be a good, replacement or a good complement to that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Who else wants to share?
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So a lot of what he just said resonated with me, and piggybacking off that call to arms idea. So I've been really out of touch for a while, and I know that this was a very large passion of mine for a while, and I knew when I did it really well, but life kept kind of hitting the fan after one thing after another, and I checked out for a while. So my takeaway was the last little note that he just mentioned was the hope. The different people that came up on the stage and just said how doTERRA had changed their life. And like Jennifer Yates, like, oh my gosh, girl, I had no idea of your story and you just rocked my world. Like, it was a combination of you're more amazing than I ever thought you were, and then, wow, I'm throwing a pity party. So I just, your future less so to shift. Now we're like hippy dippy. This is like, we've done research and now this is a medicine. And so that leads me to my favorite product is the Adaptive, and specifically the capsule. And Iris had mentioned it helps her sleep. I don't struggle with sleep much, but when they had shared the results of people who didn't even know what that pill was for, but they felt the effects of it. And I mean, it could be a placebo, but I have a very strong feeling it's real, because for a while there, my partner was telling me, I think you need an anxiety med. And I'm like, gosh, but you have all these friends that hate their anxiety meds. Like, why would I want that? And then when doTERRA came out with that, I was like, thank you. And it totally works for everything that I needed. And so they gave me hope this year. And I just feel like I just need to share that. And I won't shut my mouth up now every day.
Awesome. Yeah, the new Adaptive really is going to be life-changing. I don't know anybody who doesn't need that, right? From kid to elderly, especially
Right.
just in the world. And I love that we continue to hear the theme all throughout convention of self-care and slowing down and doing your stuff and unplugging and getting away from the screen. Like, it was like doTERRA granted us so much permission time and time again, right? Like, what other company does that at their annual convention, right? It's usually like hype them up, give away a free car, and then push them out the door to sell some more stuff. But no, that's not the message we got. And I loved that. Well, cool. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your share. Who else wants to share?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So this was my first convention. I wasn't really sure what to expect. And so before I forget, I want to mention that I absolutely love that doTERRA kind of called healthcare out on what it is and named it sick care, and the mental called it mental wellness. I really like those perspectives, and I think those are really good guidelines to go by. I think my favorite products, and I'm a little impatient, so I don't know which one I like best, because I took the peppermint, the turmeric, and the Adaptive, but I love them all and I feel great. So aside from that, one of the take homes was just being motivated to talk to other people, the togetherness, the kindness. Like today was my first day riding the bus back from my practicum. I got on the wrong bus. I was so lost. And I talked to the bus driver, and I mean, he was just asking me what I was doing, and and we were just talking, and I noticed he had a chemistry book on the front of his dashboard. And I just asked him, like, oh, what classes are you taking? It's like, oh, well, I'm not really taking classes. I just, I read for fun. I go to the bookstore and buy used books. And, I get like paper out of the garbage can at offices to write notes on. And I just try and learn, myself. And it was so inspiring that he had so much interest in chemistry and the way things worked. And he was doing it all on his own. And he would go to the colleges around us and just ask professors about things that he didn't understand. And he's like, some people would like sit there and explain to me, and other people like, well, you need to take a class. I mean, honestly, if someone came and asked me questions and they were doing that much self-teaching, I would sit there and talk to him all day long. And it was so inspiring that this man, and he's like, so, I'm Hispanic. If you need me to cut your grass, I'll cut your grass for you. Like, this guy is so sweet. I just want to help him. But it was so nice. I hope I see him on the bus tomorrow. I mean, it just, that whole, like, I could get on the bus and not say a word to him and never know, but just looking up and seeing him for who he was. So that was huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Yeah.
And I love that you're just taking all the new products, right? Like, I don't know which one's my favorite because I've got them all running through my blood.
I said I was going to space them out, and I'm like, nope, I'm feeling a little achy. I need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it. Wasn't it fascinating that the peppermint bottle looks so different than the rest of our branding?
Looks like a prescription bottle. It sure does.
Does it not? And I was waiting for the connection to be made. Maybe I missed it, but what I heard was we have a pharmaceutical grade in, where was that, New Zealand or something? We just got approved. And then they announced the peppermint. And so the correlation I made was, and we're going to prescribe peppermint. But I did not hear the connection yet. So I'm looking.
They were really working hard to talk about dosages and serving sizes.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
in the medical world, that's huge. I'm so excited about all the medical stuff and all the research.
Yes.
But I'm not going to get into that because I know everyone else is excited about it. But those are some of the big takeaways. And just today, I would never have just randomly talked to this guy in the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Very cool. Thanks for sharing. Who else wants to share?
If I may,
Yeah.
you get why, now you understand why doTERRA did what they did, 3 years ago. When, yes, it was precipitated by the whole FDA thing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, now you get it, because now they're saying, now we've got studies.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
now we can back this up,
Mm-hmm.
And we've played by their rules, and now look out.
Yeah, it's exciting. So exciting. Okay, there's some of you who haven't shared yet. I want to hear it. Chrissy, you got a takeaway you want to share with us, Miss Chrissy? I'm going to unmute you. Yeah, can I unmute you? Yeah? Okay, I'm clicking you. There you go.
Well, I don't know what to think. It was such a whirlwind worth of everything. I loved it. I want to go back, but I'll have to wait till April to purchase my ticket. That's the way it is.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
What was your favorite new product they announced?
turmeric,
Yeah.
duh. I take that with my Copaiba, and take it every morning and night.
Cool.
And so far, I can't say that I notice anything different, because I was doing copaiba oil and turmeric oil in a veggie cap.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Thanks
Yeah,
for
but
sharing.
my favorite thing was getting to meet you.
Heck yeah, that was so fun. That was so fun.
That was.
Awesome. Who else wants to share?
So when I was out there, if you know me, I get a little stressed when I'm around a lot of people. But I had a lymphatic work done on me, and they used the adaptive oil, Dana did, and I was really it was really bad on my stomach, and the oil helped a lot. I mean, she did some really good work, and the oil really, it was amazing. I can't say enough. I really can't. It was great. And it was a great convention. It was amazing. And it was great seeing everybody. So, yeah.
Awesome. Dana to the rescue.
Yeah.
What a good lead-in for Dana to share with us. We haven't heard from her yet.
I didn't see you. Is she up here?
She's on there. Yeah, she's here.
Yeah. Where is she at?
I'm here.
Dana, what did you think?
Thank you. I'm glad it helped. I'm glad we got to chat. And that was, because this is my first convention. So, it's like actually getting to see all of you guys and be with you guys was incredible. Even though I didn't get to see Kenzie at all. But yeah, so that was, that was huge by itself. But here's me, right? I sit here and it's like first day, I've got like my notepad and I've got my pen. I'm like, I'm going to go. And it's like they started announcing the products, and I'm not kidding, my pen literally hit the floor because yeah, I mean, it's like, I think I told Crystal in the car on the way there, I said, I want brain support. My patients need brain support. And I want Yarrow Palm internally in some type of combination with like turmeric, copaiba, blah, 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 blah. And it was just like, I just dropped my pen. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, they gave me everything I wanted. And it was pretty incredible. You know, it's so funny because like the Yarrow Palm, this is probably the one that I'm most excited about as far as patient care. Which, you know, I mean, might seem kind of strange. And when Tracy and Valerie and I kind of cornered Russ Butters as he was trying to escape, I was just like, dude, I'm like, you marketed this wrong. I'm like, it's supposed to be like in the gut collection because Yarrow Palm, and there's celery seed in it too. That's going to be one that's going to help heal the gut lining. So for people with, you know, I mean, do I have to be compliant? Okay, anyways, whatever. So things with like stomach ulcers and diverticulitis and skip lesions and all of that crap in the gut lining, you're getting Yarrow Palm to that. So just think about everything that it does on the surface of your skin. It's going to start doing that to your gut. And once you get your gut better, we all know how much the gut helps with everything. So this one's probably my favorite. Super excited about the turmeric capsule too. I mean, all of them, they're all really good. Adaptive, you know, we've already had some great success in my family with Adaptive. So yeah, so that's been really cool. But yeah, needless to say, I dropped my pen and I left it on the floor. I didn't take notes the rest of convention because I had already purchased the online. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to decide to just absorb everything while I'm here and then rewatch it when I get home and take my notes and all of that good stuff. So that's kind of, yeah. So I need to go back because it's like some of it, you know, it was just, yeah, it was incredible. You know, it's one of those things too. I mean, it's like I was sitting, I think it was during Copaiba because I missed most of the Copaiba stuff. And I was like, no, I'm like, I don't want to miss this. But I was sitting there with Tracy and it's like all of a sudden, you know, one of my friends from grad school had commented on one of my pictures and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm here too. I hope I can see you. And it's like sitting there during Copaiba and all of a sudden I see this person go by and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was her, you know? And I mean, it's like we hadn't seen each other in 5 years and we were really, really, really close when we were at school. And it was just, yeah, you know, I mean, just lots of tears and lots of good stuff and can't wait to go back. And my husband says he's coming with next time. So yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
And I love taking care of you guys. You guys are amazing.
Very cool.
She was amazing. She was amazing. We had this full day and we had dinner after whatever night that was and then she took care of me before she got a cab back out to wherever she was staying in the hinterlands.
And my driver that night back to the house with Crystal and everybody was Simone's uncle.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy.
Small world.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed this. How many of you do you guys do this book, The Essential Life?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys looked at it yet?
The new one?
Yeah.
I haven't.
So I don't know like what the deal is, but like this is the old one. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Just has, you know, the generic name.
Mm-hmm.
The new one actually says the blend names. So they're not trying to necessarily avoid the association with doTERRA anymore with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Directly. So I just caught that tonight when I was looking through stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. I think that's
very
different.
Cool. That makes it easier,
Yeah.
right? I did notice that the books are now, 2 books are now, that book plus the emotions book is now right in the iTobi app. So if you have an iTobi, that's pretty phenomenal. Makes our life a little easier. Or when you get scanned, it's part of the report now. So you don't have to go and look at everything after you have an iTobi scan. It's all in the report, which I thought was really cool. Cool. Who haven't we heard from yet? Let me see who else is on here.
Crystal, tell them what you bought.
Crystal, what did you buy?
I don't remember. It was too much. I'm just kidding. I bought the Zyto, so I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that and
Very cool.
implementing it. So I'll start watching webinars tomorrow and learn how to do it, and then go into chiropractic offices and doctors' offices and whoever I can find.
Yes.
You
Did you
know,
get the upgraded one, the middle one?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, we'll talk. I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know what that is yet. I just think it's the basic one.
Yeah.
So I can learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Has anyone talked about the Fear Lady? I think that wasn't the convention. It was Empowered Success.
Yeah,
Did
nobody has yet.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. So I have a lot of favorite things, and Tracy mentioned like, oh, when you're a diamond, you get to like get so many perks and be able to see a lot of people, and she's right. And this whole team has always really encouraged cross-line development and friendships and building out those battle buddies, because sometimes it's hard to do it with your team. So if you have someone outside your organization who is pushing just as hard as you, it's nice, because you shouldn't ever complain down, right? You gotta complain up or to the side. And Jen Yates and I are very much that for each other. And she is so gracious. And you guys saw her story, and I bawled my eyes out, and I didn't expect it. And I was kind of caught off guard, but it was so beautiful, and I already knew it, and I bawled my eyes out. But she let us go up to her suite, and it was so much fun. So that's inspiration to be there next year, because that is like the only way to do convention. I think Kelly will agree with that. But we got to see so many people up there, and you could just kind of bounce around. And we went and talked to the lady who's at the top of the Prime Meridian and Hawaii trip, and just asked her some questions. She was very gracious and just opened up and talked about how she did it. And I thought that was really fun. And going to Empowered Success afterwards. So I had all the products are my favorite. And like Dana said, she called it all. And I have terrible gut issues. And so everything I've tried, it kind of works, but I still have issues. This was an answer to prayer. And so I cannot wait to try to heal the gut and actually have hope in that with the Yarrow Palm. But going to Empowered Success, they gave us so many good things. The Fear Lady was phenomenal. So I can't remember the name on her Instagram, was like something Fear. But somebody else can write that in the comments. So super cool. So encouraging. And hey, I feel like it was that same, try not to talk too much, I'll shut up in a second. It was the same thing that we talk about all the time, is like, you just have to step outside your comfort zone and just do it. And she said this one quote that will stick with me forever. And it was, we usually say to ourselves, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I've said that lots of times. And Neil even says that to me. He's like, what's the worst thing that happened? Take a deep breath. And she said, what's the best thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen from this? And so it's a complete mind shift for the positive. And so I will be saying that to myself constantly. So when I go out to the chiropractors and I say, what's the best thing that can happen? Right? So just, it's wonderful. Then they turned around and gave us the Business Pro, and they gave 25 or 75% off of that certificate, and then 100 free points. doTERRA is so giving. Like every time when people say things to me, I'm like, but doTERRA is so giving. Everything they do is so giving. And then Lee Sedeby, I already kind of knew it was there, but it's the 50 days of mentoring calls. So if you haven't done that, it's HTTP no S, so it's not secure, / and then dailymentorcalls.com. Definitely sign up for that, because even in the first 2, I already knew all the steps to do the business. I've been doing them for 2 years, but she gives such detail that it's completely changing things. And then when I try to explain it to people, it gets confusing, but she can explain it in a way that is brilliant. So I don't have to do all that anymore. So anyways, I have a lot that I loved about convention, but those are my main things.
Yes. Thank you. Fantastic.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah. Tell us.
Sorry. I got to bring a bunch of people with me. So 7 people came out with us. Patty came. And just having that house, and Dana stayed in the house with us, that dynamic, that just, it was so beautiful. I don't know. That is what draws me to doTERRA, is the people. Every single time, getting to see all of your faces and hugging Christy and Jeff and Lindsay, getting to see her for the very first time. That's my upline, guys. And it's just wild. Every single one of you guys, I was like, give me a picture, take a picture, do this. It's like, it's not enough time. I'll go for 3 weeks next time. That's it. I swear.
Yeah, right. Thanks. Yes. So I have a favor to ask. Before I ask my favor, does anyone else want to share? Who else is on here?
Today I was talking to my husband's secretary. My husband is a carpenter for a larger but not a big construction company. He does the finish work on houses. Every other Tuesday, I always have to call to see if Samantha, who is the secretary, has the paychecks ready, because we desperately need it. And the sooner we get it in on Tuesdays, the better. Somehow we got to talking about the doTERRA convention last week, and she said, my cousin is the head of the Rafa House. And I was floored. So I have sent Steph Freed a friendship request and sent her a message about Samantha is here in this little town, and I don't know what's going to happen there, but the Rafa House, for those of you that don't know, they talked about it last week. It's a house for youth that have had things that didn't go their way. Suddenly it's gone out of my head because it's almost 10 o'clock at night. But this is a big deal. And so I've got an inside line to finding out how they do things with nonprofits. And it was just, I couldn't believe it. So you always find people every day that are the right people to get you somewhere else. Does that make sense? It was
absolutely, yeah. And just to think about the network of people that we know, right?
Yeah.
Just from rock stars, let alone doTERRA, those connections. That's so cool, Iris.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. Awesome. Okay, are we ready for this, or does somebody else want to share? Okay, here we go. So I was talking to Romy and Mark about how we can share this message and propel convention spirit forward. And one thing that we came up with was, well, let's do the same thing we did for the summer education, right? So this summer we had that thing where I sent out all the fun gifts. Whoever went live in the cafe and shared about summertime and oils. So I'm gonna do the same thing starting in October 1st through October 25th. The challenge is for one person to go live every day in the cafe and share something. Share about a new product, share a testimonial from one of the new products that you've had your hands on now for, a couple weeks. Share really anything educational, share any of the stories that you heard at convention. Really just share the doTERRA message in your own way by going live in the cafe, and and we'll take it from there. So I created a sign-up sheet. I'm going to share it in the comments right now, and I have gifts for the first 10 people who are willing to sign up. You guys can pick your time. I just put the dates in there, And I know last time some of you told me that it didn't work. Will somebody just check it really quick and make sure that you can type in there? I just need to know who the presenter is and the topic that you want to choose. So it could be a study, it could be the Copaiba. I mean, literally, guys, this could be anything. This is just the doTERRA spirit being shared in a cafe where we have so many brand new people and so much opportunity to share. Because here's the thing. If you didn't come to convention, if you didn't live stream convention, you missed out. You did. And I hope that, like Crystal was just saying, I hope not only do you bring a house full of people with you next year, but I hope you have 3 times that amount on the live stream, right? Like how many, I mean, I think they said 22,000 people live streamed convention this year. That's just going to continue to grow. So yeah, it's not pertinent that everyone has to be at there. It's a big expense, right, for all of us who travel in. But you guys, people can live stream. Let's set that in place early as you're speaking with people this week and all the way through April about getting their ticket for next year. Let's let them know about the live stream because wow. And if you have the live stream ticket, or if you're going to purchase it now, I'd also like to really encourage you to have a live stream party. Pull a few segments, a few things, invite your gal pals over, crack a bottle of wine, and share this message with them. Because when you hear doTERRA on stage, compared to you just being their friend sharing, you know, that can open a lot of people's minds, a lot of people's perspective. It's just incredible. It's incredible what doTERRA is doing. It's so fun to be part of this mission. When they said in the arena, you know, stand up if doTERRA has changed your life, you know, and everyone stood. Guys, I can't think of one person that's touched doTERRA that hasn't had that same experience. And it's just crazy, like, to think about where we would be without it. So I'm totally stoked about that. I'm loving it. Okay, it looks like you guys can fill out the form. So good. Cool. Well, so for the first 10 who do that, if you wouldn't mind, throw your address in there for me because it'll make it easier, just underneath your name. And then let's share. Let's go live in the cafe and let's lift these people up and let's share what we learned. And another idea I want to throw out there that we talked about with Romy and Mark is, what about doing some kind of a challenge? We have these new products. We have the AeroPalm that's not going to be available for a while, but we have the Adaptive. Maybe we could do a small study group together. Like I know if you follow Elise Sedeby, she talks a lot about doing a study group or what does she call them? Like a survey where you say, hey, we're getting like, you know, 25, 30, 40, 50 people together and we're going to run this survey and we'd like to put you in this testing group to try this product. We could do that together as a united front of rock stars, and you could sample people with whatever that might be, and we could kind of run the campaign together. So you're not just doing it with maybe 2 or 3 people. Like I'd be happy to help collaborate that, so we can do that together. And I'd love for us, those of us who have these new products or who are ordering them in October, to get some focus groups. Like let's get some testimonials from people that we know. It sounds like Iris art. I mean, just the testimonial she shared today about sleeping. I know so many people who need Adaptive for sleep, including my husband, right? Like, let's find a way to gather everyone together and get these testimonials and get these stories out there so we can share them. Awesome. So like I said, next year, we're already kind of putting it in the works. Romy and Mark would like to have more of a gathering. You know, it was the limo's great. It's a fun outing, but maybe more of a place where this is where the rock stars are at always. So if you want to come and hang out with the rock stars, you'll always find rock stars here. So look forward to that. Does anyone have any last questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, or fears they want to share? Clarify, we don't want us all to do a live every day. We just want to do a live. At least someone signed up. Yes, correct. You don't have to go live every day. I'm just looking for one person to go live the 1st through the 25th in October. So you'll just have one day if you sign up.
First of all, we all owe you a great deal of appreciation, Kenzie, because you are behind everything. So thank you for being Kenzie.
Thanks so much. You know, to be honest with you, that was one of my favorite things about convention. On Saturday morning, I had picked apples all day, all morning, and I was in the shower, and my husband came in and he said, "Hey, Romy's here." And I was like, "Romy's here." And Romy literally came to my house. And you guys, she walked in my house and she just bawled. She was just like, you know, just so full of gratitude. And I was like, man, that is why I do what I do. Like, it was just so fun. And there we were, just bawling in my living room. But, you know, my family's all eating lunch. But, you know, whatever. It was fantastic. And I just loved it. So I appreciate you guys. This is so fun to do. And I'm glad I get to be a part of it with you. Okay. Anybody else have anything? We got 4 minutes, y'all.
Hey, just want to say, utilize that post-convention to get excitement going.
Yes.
Like big time, because people love that stuff.
Yeah, take people to post-convention. For those of you who are just figuring out post-conventions, there's only 22 of them. Take a look and see where your closest one is. But guys, even if you make it a weekend thing, you know, take some gal pals, get in the car, drive out, spend the night somewhere, drive home. Do whatever you can to get there, because it's going to be a very convention feel, and that's exciting. And we can get kits on site, and that's exciting. And there's swag that you don't have to stand in line for 3 hours, and that's exciting. So be part of that. And the kindness campaign that they're doing in the cities before a couple of them, I'm so stoked about that. So, woo, cool. Y'all, I'm seeing this board fill up. I'm going to have to go back and see who the first 10 were. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I do have a giveaway, and I thought, you know, wouldn't it be fun to give away something? Who was that?
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. I know. You want me to shut it off? Do you have something you want to say? Okay, we're going to shut off the recording. Apparently, we've got some off-the-record things to take part of.